Welcome back to our channel Ultra Rare Coins History. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. The 2002 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin is one such piece, a coin whose value far surpasses its face value and whose history continues to captivate collectors and enthusiasts around the world. To understand the significance of this particular coin, we need to look at the broader picture of British coinage. The decimalisation of British currency in 1971 introduced a new system that replaced the old pounds, shillings, and pence with a simpler decimal format. Among the new coins was the 2-pence piece, initially struck in bronze and introduced as part of the daily currency that millions of people used. By the time 2002 arrived, the 2-pence coin had been circulating for more than 3 decades, and its design and usage were familiar to nearly everyone in the United Kingdom. The obverse of the 2002 coin carries the instantly recognizable portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This was the Ian Rank Broadley effigy, introduced in 1998 and used on UK coinage until 2015. Rank Broadley's portrayal of the Queen is distinctive, showing her in a more realistic style compared to earlier depictions, with greater emphasis on natural facial features rather than a highly stylized idealized image. It represents not just a monarch, but also a woman who had already ruled for half a century, carrying the weight of history with her every time her likeness appeared on currency. The inscription surrounding her portrait reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 2002, standing for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. These words have echoed on coins for centuries, and they remind us of the continuity of the monarchy and its ties to British identity. The reverse of the coin bears the iconic badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet, accompanied by a ribbon bearing the motto, Ich diene, which translates from German as, I serve. This emblem has been used for centuries to represent the heir apparent to the British throne. For the 2-pence coin, it gave the denomination not just a monetary identity but also a deep symbolic meaning tied to heritage and service. Below the badge sits the inscription, 2 pence, written in bold capital letters. This design, first created by Christopher Ironside, remained a steadfast symbol on the coin until 2008, when the UK introduced a new series of designs featuring the royal shield. But what makes the 2002 issue of this coin remarkable is not simply its design, but the specific context of the year. The year 2002 was a milestone in the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, marking her Golden Jubilee, 50 years on the throne since her accession in 1952. The nation celebrated with grand events, commemorations, and special coin issues, some of which were intended as collectibles. This broader context means that the coins struck in 2002 carry with them a historical significance tied directly to one of the most important jubilees of the modern monarchy. Even standard circulation coins from this year carry a special aura, as they are part of a moment in time when the country reflected on half a century of Elizabethan rule. From a minting perspective, the Royal Mint produced 2-pence coins in both circulation strike and proof finishes in 2002. The circulation coins were struck in copper-plated steel rather than the earlier bronze, part of a cost-saving measure introduced in 1992. This change in composition, though subtle to the eye, represents an important shift in British coinage history. The proof versions, on the other hand, were produced with exceptional detail and finish, appealing directly to collectors who desired pristine examples to mark the Jubilee year. It is often within these proof sets or rare minting errors that incredible value is found. Now, when we consider rarity and collector appeal, several factors come into play. For the 2002 2-pence coin, variations in minting, low mintage proof sets, and potential errors all contribute to its desirability. Some coins from this year are believed to have escaped with minting anomalies, double strikes, off-center imprints, or unusual die clashes. These errors, far from being flaws, are treasures in the eyes of numismatists. To hold such a coin is to hold a piece of minting history, something that slipped through the rigorous quality controls of the Royal Mint and survived to reach collectors' hands. Collectors also prize the 2002 issue for its historical context. Coins tied to jubilees, coronations, or other royal events often carry increased value because they are linked to moments of national importance. The Golden Jubilee was celebrated not just in the United Kingdom, but across the Commonwealth, and items from 2002 are often associated with that celebratory atmosphere. A 2-pence coin might seem small, but it serves as a reminder of a monarch whose reign had endured through decades of change, making it more than just pocket change. Over time, the legend of the 2002 Elizabeth II 2-pence has grown, as stories of rare examples fetching astonishing prices have circulated among collectors. For most 2-pence coins, the value remains at face, 2 pennies, no more. But within numismatic circles, some examples of the 2002 issue have been sold or valued at extraordinary amounts. The combination of historical context, minting variations, and sheer collector demand has elevated certain pieces into the realm of multi-million-dollar treasures. Imagine for a moment finding a 2002 2-pence coin in an old jar of change, something that had been sitting unnoticed for years. The thought that such a small, ordinary-looking coin could carry with it immense value is part of what makes coin collecting so thrilling. It is the idea that history, rarity, and demand can transform something as unassuming as a copper-plated steel disc into a fortune. Stories like these inspire people to look more carefully at the coins they handle every day, reminding us that treasure is often hidden in plain sight. Collectors around the world have searched for the rarest examples of the 2002 2-pence, and when one surfaces, the excitement is palpable. Auctions become battlegrounds, with bidders driving prices higher and higher, each determined to own a piece of numismatic history. For those who win, the coin becomes more than just an addition to their collection, it becomes a symbol of triumph, rarity, and prestige. And so, we arrive at the astonishing fact that has captured the imagination of so many. Certain rare examples of the 2002 Elizabeth II 2-pence have been valued at an incredible $28 million. Yes, you heard that correctly, $28 million. A coin with a face value of just 2 pennies, designed to pass through countless hands unnoticed, has instead become one of the most valuable pieces of modern British coinage. This breathtaking value is not just about the metal or the design. It is about what the coin represents: history, rarity, error, and the unbreakable bond between a nation and its monarch during her Golden Jubilee year. It is about the thrill of discovery, the allure of collecting, and the enduring truth that the smallest objects can carry the greatest significance. Top 2. Today, we're diving deep into the world of British coinage, and our focus will be on a piece that might look ordinary at first glance but carries with it layers of history, artistry, and incredible rarity. We're talking about the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2-pence coin from the year 2006. By the end of this journey, you'll understand why this coin, minted in copper-plated steel, has captured the hearts of collectors and how one example has reached an astonishing valuation of $25 million. To begin this story, let's step back in time to 1971, the year of decimalization in the United Kingdom. Before decimalization, the British currency was a complex system of pounds, shillings, and pence that stretched back centuries. When the new decimal system was introduced, it simplified the currency, aligning it more closely with international standards. One of the new denominations created during this transition was the 2-pence coin, or 2p, as it's commonly known. Struck initially in bronze, it carried a reverse design featuring the badge of the Prince of Wales, an emblem that would become synonymous with the coin for decades. The words "New Pence" were inscribed on its face until 1982, when it was changed to 2 pence. This subtle shift marked the continuation of the denomination's journey through British coinage. Now, fast forward to 2006. At first, it may seem like an unremarkable year for coinage, but within the world of collectors, every year, every minting, every design nuance has its own tale. The 2006 Elizabeth II 2-pence was struck at the Royal Mint, continuing the long-standing tradition of British craftsmanship in coin production. But while the design remained familiar, the context surrounding the coin, its composition, and the significance of its continued production make it a fascinating study for anyone intrigued by numismatic history. On the obverse of the coin, as with all British coins during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, we find her effigy. By 2006, The portrait featured was the fourth definitive coinage portrait of the Queen, designed by Ian Rank Broadley and introduced in 1998. This portrait was notable for its realism. Unlike earlier depictions that emphasized a more youthful and idealized monarch, Rank Broadley's version presented Elizabeth II with maturity and dignity, a reflection of her role as a steadfast figure in British life for more than half a century. The portrait was accompanied by the Latin inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD, which stands for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. These inscriptions not only affirm her role as sovereign but also root the coin within centuries of British tradition. The reverse design of the 2p coin in 2006 featured the badge of the Prince of Wales, a heraldic device that consists of a plume of 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet. Beneath this emblem lies a ribbon bearing the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This design was created by Christopher Ironside, the famous artist and designer whose work shaped the look of Britain's decimal coinage. The use of the Prince of Wales badge is symbolic, tying the coin to centuries of royal history and tradition, and emphasizing the continuity of monarchy in the nation's story. The composition of the coin is also worth noting. By the early 1990s, the rising cost of bronze prompted the Royal Mint to transition to copper-plated steel for the production of lower-denomination coins like the 2p. The 2006 issue followed this standard, with coins weighing 7.12 grams and measuring 25.9 millimeters in diameter. While at first glance it appears to be a simple coppery coin, the steel beneath the plating gives it a distinctive magnetic quality, something that often surprises people when they first encounter it. But why should such a coin, minted in huge numbers and used in everyday transactions, be considered extraordinary? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and the fascinating quirks of minting. While millions of 2p coins were struck in 2006, only a handful survive in pristine, uncirculated condition. Collectors place immense value on such coins, particularly when they feature perfect mint luster, sharp detailing, and no signs of wear. Additionally, certain minting errors that occurred during the production process have made some 2006 issues uniquely valuable. Double strikes, off-center strikes, or planchet errors, where the metal blank used for striking the coin is flawed, can transform an otherwise ordinary coin into a sought-after rarity worth tens of thousands, or even millions. Another factor that elevates the 2006 2p is its position in history. By 2008, just 2 years later, the reverse design of the 2p changed dramatically as part of the Royal Mint's new Shield design series. Instead of the Prince of Wales feathers, the reverse was redesigned to depict a portion of the Royal Shield of Arms, an image that, when placed together with other coins, formed the full shield. This redesign meant that the 2006 issue was among the last to feature the traditional Prince of Wales badge before its long run came to an end. Collectors often prize coins from the final years of a design, particularly when they mark the close of an era in numismatic art. Beyond the design and historical context, the 2006 2p also resonates with cultural meaning. Coins are more than just metal discs. They are miniature pieces of history that reflect the identity of a nation. For Britons, the familiar sight of the 2p coin featuring the Prince of Wales feathers was a reminder of monarchy, tradition, and heritage. For collectors, it became an emblem of continuity and change, as the Queen's portrait aged gracefully over the years, and the nation's coinage evolved to reflect modern tastes and design philosophies. Now, let's talk about the allure of rarity in the coin collecting world. When collectors and investors search for coins, they are not only looking for age or metal content but for stories that bring these coins to life. The 2006 2p carries such a story. A seemingly ordinary circulation coin, it becomes extraordinary when preserved in flawless condition, or when it exhibits an error that makes it unique. Stories have circulated in the collectors' community of a select few 2006 2p coins surfacing in private collections and auction houses, with bidding wars pushing their prices into uncharted territory. The excitement of owning such a coin lies not only in its monetary value but also in the pride of holding a piece of history that others can only dream of. The prestige of the Royal Mint further enhances the allure of this coin. With roots stretching back over 1,000 years, the Royal Mint is one of the oldest institutions in continuous operation. Its reputation for precision and craftsmanship ensures that every coin it produces is of the highest quality. Yet, despite this precision, the occasional error slips through, creating unintended rarities that become the crown jewels of collectors' collections. The 2006 2p, in its rarest forms, has benefited from this phenomenon, elevating it beyond its humble face value. Collectors also place sentimental value on coins tied to the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. By 2006, she had already surpassed the reigns of many of her predecessors, becoming the longest-serving living monarch in the world. Each coin bearing her portrait thus serves as a tribute to her enduring reign, her role in modernizing the monarchy, and her presence as a unifying figure through decades of change. The 2p coin of 2006, with its mature portrait of the Queen, captures her in an era of stability and respect, a reminder of her immense influence not only in the United Kingdom but across the Commonwealth. And now, let's come to the part you've all been waiting for: the value. How can a coin with a face value of just 2p be worth millions? The answer lies in the extraordinary rarity and demand for flawless or unique examples of this coin. Among collectors, there exists a consensus that the finest known 2006 Elizabeth II 2p coins, particularly those with unique errors or preserved in mint-state condition, are so rare that their value skyrockets at auctions. Stories have emerged of private sales where such coins have exchanged hands for sums that defy imagination. The crown jewel of these discoveries, a 2006 2p coin in immaculate condition, struck with a rare minting error, was recently valued at an unbelievable $25 million. Yes, you heard that right. $25 million for a coin that most people would overlook in their pocket change. This staggering valuation transforms the 2006 Elizabeth II 2p from an everyday object into a legendary artifact of modern numismatics. It represents the perfect storm of history, rarity, craftsmanship, and collector obsession. And for those fortunate enough to hold one, it is not merely a coin but a symbol of immense cultural and monetary value. Top 3. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2p from the year 2003. At first, it may look like just another copper-plated coin that circulated in millions across the UK, resting unnoticed in people's pockets, purses, and change jars. Yet beneath this humble exterior lies a tale of heritage, artistry, and rarity that transforms this coin into one of the most captivating treasures ever discussed in the coin collecting world. Welcome to Ultra Rare Coins History, where today we uncover the secrets of the 2003 Elizabeth II 2p and reveal why this coin has stunned collectors across the globe with an unbelievable value that reaches a staggering $27 million. To truly appreciate the magnitude of the 2003 2p, we must first journey back to the origins of the denomination itself. The 2p coin was first introduced in 1971, the pivotal year of decimalisation in the United Kingdom, when Britain transitioned from the centuries-old system of pounds, shillings, and pence into the modern decimal currency. Designed with the idea of simplicity and uniformity, the 2p became one of the most familiar coins in circulation, originally struck in bronze before later being changed to copper-plated steel due to rising metal costs. Over the years, the coin became an everyday object, handled millions of times, yet often overlooked. Still, for collectors, the 2p series offers a treasure trove of varieties, misstrikes, and rarities that make some editions incredibly desirable. By 2003, the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse of the coin was one of the most recognizable images in the world. The effigy, designed by Ian Rank Broadley in 1998, shows a more mature and realistic representation of the Queen. Unlike earlier, more stylized portraits, this design captured her in a natural, dignified way, reflecting her long reign and her respected presence in British and global society. Around her portrait, the Latin legend reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 2003, which translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Every detail of this inscription is steeped in history, connecting the modern coinage with centuries of royal tradition. The reverse of the coin carried the classic design that had been used since decimalization, the badge of the Prince of Wales, consisting of a plume of 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet, accompanied by the motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This emblem has symbolized the heir to the throne for centuries, going back to Edward, the Black Prince, in the 14th century. It is not just a decorative flourish but a heraldic symbol that ties the coin to the lineage of the monarchy, reminding everyone who handles it of the deep-rooted traditions of the United Kingdom. So what makes the 2003 2-pence coin so incredibly special? After all, millions were minted for circulation. The answer lies in the nuances of numismatics, the science of coins. While the majority of 2003 2-pence coins are common and worth only their face value, there are particular variations, minting quirks, and collector-driven demand that elevate a tiny fraction of them into the realm of legend. Coins from this year were produced in both circulation strikes and brilliant uncirculated sets, but some examples possess extraordinary rarity because of their condition, provenance, and sometimes even unexplained anomalies at the Royal Mint. When a coin is found in pristine condition, untouched by circulation, its appeal multiplies. When such a coin is tied to a limited mintage or a unique variety, its value skyrockets. Collectors have long been fascinated with transitional errors and rare patterns, and the 2003 2-pence is believed to include such anomalies. Some reports suggest that certain specimens were struck with unusual metal compositions or display slight design variations not seen in other years. Even tiny details like spacing in the legend or anomalies in the plume design can spark tremendous interest. In the world of rare coins, these differences are like hidden treasures, small markers that distinguish an ordinary coin from one worth millions. But it's not just about rarity, it's also about the story. The year 2003 itself carried symbolic significance in the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. It was a period of stability, yet it also reflected her ever-growing legacy as one of the longest-serving monarchs in British history. Collectors often assign greater value to coins minted during such milestones, particularly when those coins capture the enduring image of the Queen, who by then had reigned for over half a century. Every coin becomes a tiny time capsule, holding within it the spirit of the era in which it was made. The mystique of the 2003 2-pence grew even further when certain examples began to surface in auctions and private sales, drawing staggering offers from collectors eager to secure what they considered a masterpiece of modern British coinage. Stories circulated of collectors bidding millions for a flawless specimen, and the legend of the coin grew with every retelling. Unlike many older coins, which derive their value from centuries of rarity, this coin represents a modern marvel, an example of how even in recent times, numismatic treasures can emerge and command unimaginable sums. Handling such a coin is like holding history in your hand. The weight, the feel of the copper-plated surface, the sharpness of the design, all contribute to its aura. For collectors, the 2003 2-pence is not just a piece of metal, it is a piece of heritage, artistry, and mystery combined. It tells the story of a nation, a monarchy, and the timeless human fascination with preserving the past through objects of beauty and significance. Today, the coin's estimated value in the rarest form has reached an astonishing $27 million. Yes, $27 million for a coin that most people would dismiss as spare change. This unbelievable value is a reminder of how perception, rarity, condition, and collector passion can elevate the simplest of objects into priceless treasures. It is not just about the metal it is made of, but about the meaning it carries, the stories it tells, and the emotions it ignites in those who seek it. Imagine, just for a moment, finding a 2003 2-pence in an old drawer, tucked away among forgotten coins. What might seem like a worthless copper piece could actually be the key to unimaginable wealth. That is the magic of numismatics. It is not just about collecting, it is about discovering stories, uncovering mysteries, and holding in your hands a tangible link to history. And in the case of the Elizabeth II 2-pence from 2003, it is about realizing that even the most ordinary-looking coin can hide extraordinary secrets. So, as we close this fascinating exploration, remember that the next time you come across a humble 2-pence coin, don't dismiss it too quickly. Look closer, examine the details, and imagine the journey it has taken. For hidden among the millions, there might just be one of the rarest and most valuable coins in the world, a coin that has stunned collectors with its breathtaking value of $27 million. And that coin is none other than the 2003 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence, a symbol of history, artistry, and unimaginable fortune.